Sean from Middle Grounded. I think what it would take for Mr. Penis to stop being Mr. Penis and to become Lorne Armstrong again, it's going to take a few things. Number one, this dude has to stay off the phone, and not just because he's pathetic and he's abusive. I'm talking about the fact, I want you to do an experiment. I think this will help, and I think it will explain something about Lorne. The next time you're with a family member or a loved one and you tell them I loved you, I want you to remember that feeling, how strong it is. There's a physical presence there. You can't just say it, you have to mean it. And you won't say it unless you mean it. It feels good. It's usually accompanied by a hug. It's extremely powerful. Now, the next time you're on the phone, I want you to tell somebody, I love you. And I want you to remember that feeling. Those are just words. It's a trained response. It's a trained exit off the phone. I love you. Bye. There's no physical presence or contact. No pressure. You can just say it. He doesn't know what they look like. He doesn't even know who they are. He can't verify their identity. But damn it if he doesn't love them. It feels good for him to say, I love you. For a number of reasons. And one of them is because when he says, I love you, mother dear, and she goes, where's my truck? Oh, Mom, you're so funny. I love you. Bring me my keys. He doesn't get told, I love you. Tony and Wendy aren't saying it. Roy isn't saying it. I don't think his siblings ever said it, unless he gave them money, and maybe then they might have said, I love you. He doesn't understand love. He can never give it. He can never receive it. And that is a problem, which is why this dude needs to get off the phone ASAP. Lorne forms an attachment on the phone, a habit. He doesn't form any kind of connection or relationship. And that's a problem, because the phone has become a habit for him, much like smoking, much like drinking. He needs it. When you're telling people, I only have 3 hours of charge left, call me, I can talk some, there's a problem. When you're telling them, I've got about 5 minutes left, I have a small 5-minute window, I'm outside of my sex offender class, please call me, I got a dentist appointment at 8:30, please call me. There's a problem, and it's become a habit and an addiction and an outlet. There's nobody in his life he could do any of the things he does on the phone with. He can't tell them I love them, and I truly believe, if somebody in Lorne's life, his entire life, had been there for him, not his Uncle Clay, not people who treated him like an 87, but treated him with respect, showed him some love, tried to guide him. Yes, he's a narcissist, but that's not something that you're just born as. You have the tendency to be a narcissist, but the social, I don't want to say engineering, but life does kind of socially engineer you. I mean, it kind of you have a whole bunch of people that inadvertently affect you, bounce you around like a human pinball emotionally, and you end up where you end up. Lorne has never had love, which is why the phone should never be allowed near him. If you can't verify the identity of who you're talking to or who they really are, the words I love you should never come out of your mouth. Ever. Secondly, there is no way this man should be allowed on the internet. Not a chance. Not a prayer. Yes, to protect children, and yes, to protect potential abuse victims, but more importantly, to protect him from himself. If you take a guy like 87, and you put 87 on a forum, and 87 finds some posts about him, 87 is going to go nuclear. And he's going to try to be clever, and he's going to expose himself to more attacks. By the time 87's brain caught up, and he thought about, well, I should have said this, and he goes back on the forum, there are going to be dozens more comments. And Lorne is the kind of guy who hears a negative comment, and he will think about that comment, and it will eat him up, and he will practice his response verbally, which is why all of his voicemails sound the same, because those voicemails are a rehearsal, so that when Debbie picks up the phone or whoever, he's already got it down. He knows what he's going to say. And he'll keep going while they're on the phone until he gets it right. And you can't do that on the forums and have a life, because they will eat him alive. And that is the truth. Imagine if he found my measly little channel, or some of you guys, your comments, just your comments alone, you would have responses, probably expect lawsuits up the ass. You, Xavier, Bond, Bacon Boy, Emma, Dan, and anybody else he wanted to throw in there. Chris Hansen. He shouldn't be allowed on the internet because his narcissism. There's a great little document. I don't mean little in a negative way. I mean in something that they put together, put a lot of thought in, but they didn't really push. They didn't try to make it a big thing. They just did it because they truly believed in what they were making, and they wanted other people to be able to view it. I think it's on Raptor Bacon's channel. It's called Lorne Armstrong, the Narcissist, I think. I've watched it twice. It's really well put together. Again, I didn't mean anything negative by saying little. You guys know what I mean. I love the Lorneography community. I'm honored to be a little teeny part of it. Oh, by the way, before I go back into this, Shin's Koala, should you happen to be listening to this, I'm going to be taking on your exhibition disorder theory. And I'm going to be pointing out how you too are an exhibition. I'm kidding. But I will be taking on the exhibition disorder. I think you might be right, and it pisses me off to say that, just so you know. But let's get back to the internet one more time. He would be making videos, lots and lots of videos. Instead of moving on with his life, he'd keep putting himself out there. And the people like us that have grown into tens of thousands of people who just want this guy to admit it, we just want to see some kind of positive change, the abuse to stop. For one day, we want to see him go, you're right, I did want to do that to a child. I'm not proud of it. I really did. And I spent a month, and admit it, I've spent a month grooming her. All I could think about was having sex with her. Oh shit, Lorne, did you really just say that? Yeah, and I am a drunk, and I am abusive. I need help. If Lorne Armstrong would come out with a cry for help, a real cry for help, not his fake tears, I would have a little more respect for him. Self-awareness is very difficult, especially in a narcissist. I believe Raptor Bacon made a video about him being a sociopath, and I might be inclined to agree. Not fully, but pretty much a lot of the traits are there. I just want to back up for a second and say, no drinking, obviously. He'd have to stop drinking. We're at a point right now where Lorne is so old that I don't know if he's going to continue to be catfished. I don't know if his ego, or maybe his common sense, his ego wouldn't deflate, or his common sense wouldn't kick in, and he'd be like, look, I'm a grandfather. I don't have any game. I've never been laid. There's no way these hot young women are interested in me. And then again, this is Lorne Armstrong. What the hell am I saying? This dude would be catfished until the end of freaking time. I am concerned because Lorne hasn't taken responsibility, because he hasn't changed. Some of these predators let this sexual repression, I don't really know that yet, let's just say that, build up to the fact that they've never been laid, and they become desperate, and they become aggressive, and that need takes over. And I fear that a grandfather like Lorne might, as much as it scares me, have a relationship as a friendship maybe with somebody that has a child, a female child, and Lorne decides he finally wants to experience something. Would it happen? I don't know, because I still think he might be afraid of physical contact, and that whole thing with Kayla was just a dream because he knew he would never have to follow through on it. I can't be for sure. I know this video is getting long, but Lorne needs friendships, real friendships, people who care about him, people who will keep him grounded, people who will help him understand and see what life is really about, and what things are acceptable and what things aren't, and what he should do and shouldn't do. His role models haven't always been there. Every guy in his life has seemed to have bolted at some point or the other, or he's been used by. So maybe he does need some real friends that can say, Lorne, look, man, you gotta stop. all right? Maybe he needs somebody who can say, stop your stupid bullshit. He's got another issue going on with a command chair type syndrome. Cornville's Dr. Evil. I guess we could call him that. But those are some thoughts for today. There are many more things, but he's going to have to let it go. Admit it, stay off the internet, stay the hell away from the phone, get a good job, get some friends, and just move forward and try to love for real this time. Sean from Middle Grounded. Please like, subscribe, and share. I am indebted to you for listening. I'll see you in the next one.